Commissioners, welcome to Mountain Energy Services. Right over here is a sawmill that my father started in the early 80s, and through his hard work and the dedication of the employees, it has grown to be a landmark business in this community. 3 years ago, my brother Matt and I saw the opportunity when the oil and gas industry began making root here in the Marcellus Shale, right here in our backyard. We decided we wanted to be a part of it. I traveled west to the Barnett Shale and visited sites. Took a crash course in drilling and completions. When I came home, I realized there'd be a need for safe, clean trucks and trained drivers to haul water to the gas well place. So we bought a few trucks, hired a handful of drivers. 3 years later, we have over 150 trucks and 200 employees. And we just started moving into the Utica Shale in Ohio. So, in order to restore America, we believe we need to break our country's dependence on foreign oil through energy independence. That will come with developing our own resources. We need a leader who can take us into a safe, secure, and economical, sound future. We believe Governor Mitt Romney will do that. But first, let me introduce Paulette Burnside of the Wyoming County Chair. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Paulette Burnside, and I serve as the chairman of the Wyoming County Republican Committee. You know, every day is a beautiful day here in the Endless Mountains, but today is especially beautiful. I would like to welcome all of you, first of all, for coming today, and I'd like to welcome the Wyoming County Commissioners and the Bradford County Commissioners. We are honored to be one of the first stops of Governor Romney's campaign here in Pennsylvania. Fresh off his 3-for-3 victory this week in Wisconsin, Maryland, and the District of Columbia, Governor Romney chose to be here in Northeast Pennsylvania. The fact that Mitt is here with us today highlights the importance that our region plays in state and national politics and this year's election. Thank you. Isn't he helpful? Thank you. As you know, Governor Romney has real-world business experience. He understands the economy and has been a job creator. His record in Massachusetts was conservative, cutting taxes 19 times and balancing the budget each and every year. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an obligation to fix what is broken in Washington, D.C. Let's start today by working together to make sure that Barack Obama is a one-term president. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Governor Mitt Romney.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, and Ryan and Matt. You are most kind to welcome me here to your place of business and to a served barbecue. Did you feed everybody here? How many people got some barbecue here today? Oh yeah, we got a lot. There's barbecue. I can't get over that you did that. Awfully kind of you. And I noticed a number of the folks that work with you here at Mountain Energy, and appreciate the fact that you've got some entrepreneurs here. And by virtue of their entrepreneurship, they're employing 200 people and helping provide energy that America needs. So Matt and Ryan, thank you for your work and your entrepreneurial spirit. It's quintessential Pennsylvania. Thank you. Now I need only one thing from you guys, and that's to make sure I defeat Barack Obama in November. All right, we got to get that job done. We got some work to do between now and then. Every day we can take a step to get a little closer. First, I got to make sure and get every possible delegate out of Pennsylvania. Get to make sure and vote for me in the upcoming primary? Yeah. Good. The reason I'm so animated about defeating Barack Obama is because he's failed the American people. He came into office and the economy was in trouble. People were losing jobs. Homes were losing their value. Energy prices were beginning to go up. And we would have expected him to focus his energy on getting this economy going. Instead, he delegated the economy to Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid. And they put together a grab bag of some of their favorite projects in Washington and called it a stimulus. It was a stimulus that protected government, but didn't put people back to work. And so then he took his time and focused on what he really cared about. Dodd-Frank, Obamacare. You like Obamacare? No! Yeah, no, me neither. And so now, 3.5 years in, we're reminded of something he said shortly after being inaugurated. He said if he couldn't turn around the economy in 3 years, he'd be looking at a one-term proposition. And we're here to collect. Almost everything he has done has made it harder for this economy to recover. And that's in part why it's been so hard for people to get jobs back again and to see rising wages. I mean, you ask yourself, did Obamacare make it more likely for a business like yours to hire more people? No. Did Dodd-Frank make it easier for small banks to make loans to small businesses? No. Did talk about cap and trade make it a positive thing for businesses that use a lot of energy to go out and hire more people? No. How about forced unionization through card check? Did that encourage businesses to hire people? No. Almost everything he did made it harder for the economy to recover. And he tries to look around and find someone else to blame for almost every single one of his failures. The other day was a new example of that. He has an ad out that talks about the high price of gasoline. And he found someone new to blame. Me. Now that was really quite amusing, wasn't it? I mean, I don't hold office. If someday I do hold office, I will subscribe to the plaque that used to be on the desk of Harry Truman. The buck stops here. The President of the United States needs to take responsibility for his own policies, and in this case, for the failure of his own policies. He has done almost everything imaginable to make it harder to get oil and gas and coal and nuclear power. With regards to gas, as you know, for years, this technology, using fluids, fracking technology, to bring gas and oil out of the ground, have been employed in the energy industry and have been regulated by the states. But now this president has 8 different agencies trying to fight their way and to become regulators of the gas extraction technology known as fracking. And the intent, of course, is to slow down the development of our own resources. The same thing is happening in oil, where he put a moratorium on drilling in the Gulf. We haven't taken advantage of our outer continental shelf. We haven't taken advantage of the oil we have in Alaska. He's made it harder and harder to take advantage of our oil resources. And then coal. A number of you are familiar with the coal industry. New regulations there from the EPA make it harder to mine coal, harder to use coal. This president has been an anti-energy president. And if I'm president, I will make sure we get our gas, our oil, our coal, and we will build that pipeline of oil from Canada that'll bring more oil into this country. He said the other day, by the way, did you hear that? He said, you know, sometimes you hear what he says, but it's in such striking contrast to what he does that you, I mean, it's like your head goes around. You know, you just wonder, can he really be saying that? The other day he said he was for all of the above in the energy world. And I thought, how in the world can he be saying that? Then I realized he probably means he's for all the energy sources that come from above the ground, all right? So he's for solar and wind, which are just fine. But he doesn't like coal, oil, gas, because they're below the ground. Now we understand Obama speak a little better. I'm actually for everything that comes from above and everything that comes from below. I want to get energy in this country and become energy secure. There are big differences between me and President Obama. I'm fond of saying that this election is going to be about the soul of America. What kind of a country we're going to be. What it means to be an American in 2012. What it means to be an American in 2016. What kind of America we're going to pass on to our kids and to their kids. We come from the greatest generation. Will we be a great generation? Or will we be a nation that passes on massive debts to our kids? I simply can't get over the fact that we have a president comfortable with trillion-dollar deficits. How can that be? $1 trillion every year. He is on track within 4 years to have amassed as much public debt almost as all the prior presidents combined. Think of that. I think it's bad economics. I also think it's immoral for us to pass on these kind of burdens to the next generation. And if I'm president, I'll stop that. I will cap our federal spending, I will cut federal spending, and I will finally get us to a balanced budget. This president has a view which I call a government-centered society. A society where government starts to run our lives and our economy. There's some other nations that have tried that path. They haven't worked very well. They have chronic high unemployment, low wage growth, massive debt. I don't want to go that direction. The president says he wants to fundamentally transform America. I don't want to transform America. I want to return to America the principles that made us the nation that we are. And those principles include freedom and opportunity. When government takes more and more power from the people, we lose our freedom. We lose the opportunity to create enterprises like this and to build a better future for our children and for theirs. I saw the president's government-centered hand in his health care bill. This Obama health care bill. It will ultimately tell us not just what kind of insurance we have to have, but I believe it will ultimately dictate to us what kind of treatments we're allowed to receive. If I'm president, on day one, I will stop Obamacare in its tracks, we'll get it repealed, and turn power back to you. This president believes in higher taxes. Now, he doesn't want to say that, he just wants to do that. He has a proposal to raise the new marginal tax rate from 35% to 40%. Now, my guess is you're not a C corporation. You're taxed at the individual level. Is that right? I'm seeing a nodding head. Do you know how many people work in businesses that are taxed at the individual tax level? Not at a corporate tax rate, but at the individual rate. 54% of America's workers work in businesses that are taxed as individuals. And so when you raise the tax rate from 35 to 40, you will cause those businesses to lay people off or to hold down wages or to hold on wage growth. This is the consequence of having a president who has not worked in the economy. He doesn't understand that his policies will hurt the economy, will keep Americans from being able to have great jobs. I want to reduce the marginal tax rates across the board for everyone in America. Cut out the special deals, limit the deductions and exemptions, and get America working again. That is my highest priority. Let's get Americans to work. We got some folks here in the first row here that are showing that they're veterans. One of the great things about our country is the service of our men and women that have bought freedom for others and preserved it for ourselves. And I want to express my appreciation to you who have served in the armed forces. With those who are members of our armed forces family, please raise your hands. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much. The president's intent on cutting back on our military, not because he deems the world safer, but because he wants to have some more money to do other things with. And so he's planning on cutting about $500 billion out of our military. Do you know the state of our Navy? We have fewer ships in the Navy today than any time since 1917. We have fewer and older aircraft in the Air Force than any time since 1947, and that's when it was formed. And you know that our active duty personnel were stretched to the limit in the conflicts we've had, and yet he wants to reduce the number of soldiers in our military. I happen to have a very different view. I believe we should increase our purchases of ships, increase our purchases of aircraft, add 100,000 troops to our active duty personnel, and give our veterans the care they deserve. It is my view that Ronald Reagan on this topic was right. And that is a strong America is the best ally peace has ever known. I want our military to be without question so superior to any else in the world that no one would ever think of testing America's military might. And so I come to you with a request. I need your vote. I need your help. As we say in my state, vote early and vote often. The vote often part is only legal in Pennsylvania if you get your neighbor to go with you. If you find someone who doesn't have a ride or hasn't voted yet, get them to go with you, a family member, call around, get them out and vote on April 24th. And I can guarantee you that I'll make sure that we never apologize again for a success here at home. And we will also never apologize again for success in helping other people overseas. We will not apologize for America, I can tell you that. We're the greatest nation in the history of the earth. I love this country. I love its beauty. This is a beautiful part of the country. I don't have to tell you that. But this, you call it the, Madam Chairman, you call this the endless mountains. Just beautiful. As I drove up from Harrisburg, just a beautiful mountain range. It's going to be gorgeous as that turns bright green shortly. What a beautiful place you live in. But even more beautiful than the landscape around us is the heart and passion of the American people. We're a patriotic people. We love our country. We love the principles upon which it was founded. We want those principles of opportunity and freedom to once again drive our economy. We do not want a government-centered nation. We want a people-centered nation. We're convinced that America will do best if government is small and if individuals and their freedom is large. I love America the way it was founded. That was founded, of course, our nation was founded not far from this very spot, in this great state of yours. We want those principles to again rule in this nation. I want to get America working again. I've spent my life in this country. I understand how the free enterprise system works. I want to make that system work for all the people of this country. I want to help the poor. I want to help the middle class. Our middle class is really struggling right now. Gasoline prices are high. Food prices are high. Healthcare costs are high. And yet the median income in America has dropped by 10% in just the last 4 years. I want to go to work to help the American people. But to do that, we've got to get rid of Barack Obama, get me elected, and keep America the hope of the earth. We'll do it together. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.